Hello and welcome back to our coverage of the GAMA Trade Show 2016. I'm Eric Summerer here with Nick Little from Action Phase Games. Hello, Nick.
Hello.
What do we have coming up from Action Phase?
We have a lot of games. As you can see, there's a big pile of them
It's
here.
a whole parade that we've got set up.
So yeah, we just had these two games delivered to our Kickstarter backers, and they were in retail shelves last month. This one's called Scoundrel Society. It's a simultaneous action selection game where you play a 1920s, 1930s con man, and you're trying to steal a bunch of loot from the mark.
Okay.
It has this neat mechanic where all the things that you steal have a suspicion value, and at the end of the games, the cop shows up, and whoever has the most suspicion is eliminated. So you want to steal not the most stuff, but like the second most stuff, basically. So it's kind of a second place wins sort of game. This one's called Ninja Camp. In this game, you play an animal that wants to learn how to become a ninja, but you're not like a ferocious animal like a lion or a tiger. You're going to play like a sloth or a hamster or a camel.
Okay.
That's why you got to go to Ninja Camp.
You would.
Right. This is sort of like a Hey, That's My Fish type of game where it's all about tactics and positioning.
Okay.
But unlike in Hey, That's My Fish, the cards that you pick up, they're not only points, but they tell you how you can move. So again, it's another level of tactics. Tom did a review on this, so if you want more information on it, you can check it out. It's a great review. We have Kodama next. This one is going to deliver to Kickstarter backers next month or later this month. That's going to be a month early for us. In this game, you play a person who is building this tree as a home for these tree spirits, these little Kodamas.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool game where you start out the game with a tarot-sized trunk card that has branches coming off the edge of it.
Okay.
And then on your turn, you're going to draft a branch card, and you're going to place it on your tree, but it's not like an orthogonal grid. You build this like organic-looking, pretty tree.
I see it on the back of the box here. Let's see if we can, our overhead camera can get it, but you're branching it all out.
Right. Yeah. So at the end of the game, you're going to have this really pretty tree. At the end of at the beginning of the game, you're going to be dealt 4 of these Kodama cards, and they're like goal cards. They'll tell you how you score in certain ways. So they'll want you to collect different icons or different arrangement of cards, and after every 4 rounds, you're going to play one of your Kodama cards. So at the end of the game, you'll have played 3 Kodama cards at different intervals. So it's all about planning to figure out when you're going to play which card, and which card you're just not going to play, and so on. But every time you play a branch, you're going to score based on the icons that match going down your tree.
All right.
So some short-term and long-term planning. We just had this one finish up on Kickstarter. It's called Dreamwell. So this game is beautiful illustration by Tara McPherson.
Okay.
And it's kind of an abstract game where there's like a 4x4 tile grid, and you're trying to get your 2 pawns to line up so that you can play a card, because the cards all have 3 requirements. So you have to get your 2 pawns to meet the 3 requirements. Okay. And when you play a card, you get an action from it, like a bonus, and it's worth a certain amount of points. So the key to this game is chaining off your cards in a way where your actions are helping you play the next one and score the most amount of points.
Now I noticed that you have your first 3 releases are in a certain size box. Is this going to be in that series as well, or is it a new
No,
series?
it's not. Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because as you can see, I don't know if you guys can. So we have a small box, big fun line of games that we've released this year. Basically, like I said, these 2 are out. This one's coming out. This one's called Retreat to Darkmoor. This one is up on Kickstarter right now. All of these in retail you'll be able to get for $20, so it's a great price point especially for the amount of game that you're getting. This one, all of them have versions that you can get on Kickstarter or through our website that are like a deluxe version, extra wood bits, or like an expansion pack to it. Yeah. The one that we have on right now is the Retreat to Darkmoor. That one, the premise of this game is you play a bunch of Dark Lords who have ascended upon the castle to try and take over the castle, but you didn't realize there was like a special union meeting of all the legendary heroes in the land. So they come out, and you've decided to retreat to all the dark lands, the swamps, and the murky spots, you know? So it's a game sort of like Guillotine, where you're lining up cards, and
I want to be the farthest away from the cavalcade of superheroes.
Yeah, you're making a line basically at these different locations, and once a line is perilous enough, the hero will come out and kill the last guy in the line, and all the rest of the guys will get to escape. Okay. And all the cards have cool abilities that when you trigger them, they'll manipulate the line, or they'll pull somebody over, or whatever. But the game is very easy to learn, very fun to play, and the complexity is in maximizing the abilities and the way that you play your cards. So that's Retreat. Like I said, this is up now, and you can get it for $19 from us, or with the expansion, you can get it for $24 on Kickstarter. Okay. So the last one, we haven't really talked much about this game yet. So this is sort of a release. So this was, we're big news. So this is Aeon's End. So this is the game that we're going to be launching on Kickstarter in a little under a month. It'll be April 5th. This is a co-op fantasy deck builder. Okay. Where you play a group of people that each person will play a breach mage. So the premise behind it is that at some point, it's kind of set in a fantasy realm where everyone's kind of living in these sort of medieval times, and there's magic. And at some point, these breaches started opening, and these giant monsters started coming out and killing everyone and ruining the cities. And you're descendants of these ancestors that found a cave city that was abandoned, and you inhabited the city, and you kind of closed off the cave so that nobody could figure out that you were there. So after generations of living there, you've learned to harness the energy, the latent energies that the monsters have left around the world.
Okay.
And you've started opening the breaches to these worlds and learning these spells from them. So everyone is going to be playing a different mage who has the ability to use and cast different spells. And because you guys have started tinkering or tampering with this energy, the monsters have figured out where you are, that there's people remaining in the world. So they start to attack the city. And each game that you play, there's going to be a nemesis that has a deck. And on their turn, you'll draw a card and you'll resolve it, and on your turn, you'll get to play cards. It's Dominion style, so there are different supply piles. You'll know what you're able to buy. It has a variable economy, so it's not like Dominion where you just get silver or gold. You'll pick 3 gems that you're going to put out, and they'll do different things. A couple of the cool, neat mechanics to it. It uses a variable turn order, so there's a turn order deck, so that you shuffle up, you flip over, and whoever's number comes up or the nemesis comes up, that's who will get to take the turn, and then you keep going until the deck is done, and you'll shuffle up and run it back. The spells have this interesting mechanic where you don't just play them and immediately deal the damage. You have to prep them, almost like old school Dungeons and Dragons style, where it'll take an amount of time to cast it. So you'll play a spell to a breach, and then on your next turn, you can fire it off.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the breaches, you start with one of them is open, and most of them are some sort of locked, so you have to pay mana to kind of unlock them or focus them for the turn so that you can use them.
All right.
And each mage has a special ability that you can pay mana into over the course of time to use a big effect.
All right.
All of the thing that's kind of lost on the people that play the game like once or twice, which we've had a bunch of playtesters that have played it and loved it, is that there are going to be 4 different enemies starting in the game, and then we have stretch goal plans for some more, and each one plays completely differently.
Okay.
So you could play the game, and it would be a completely different experience. Like one time, maybe the guy is eating the cards from the market, and if the market's gone, you're going to lose. And another time, he's putting these trap cards in your deck that'll benefit you, but also hurt you. So
you said April?
Yes.
for
April
this
5th,
one
this will come out. Yep.
Okay. Excellent, Nick. Thank you. From
you.
Action Phase Games, thanks for watching.
Thank you for having me.